Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3. And now I'm just gonna take this and we're gonna do a quick, just a screenshot really, we don't have to do too much. And I'm actually going to just do a quick thing here and turn off HUD and turn off the grid. So I don't really need that. And now I'm basically gonna look and I'm thinking, where do I want this in my composition? I'm gonna do something really simple. I'm gonna put it like right there, kind of in the 3/4 area. So I'm thinking that I want to have it looking up or down. I can figure that out when I'm looking at this. So I'm looking like that. And if you need some help, you can always just throw a ground plane on there and it'll kind of give you a better idea of where you're looking, even though I just turned the grid off. But I'm going to do it. I want it to look really huge and epic. So I'm going to put it right about there. And I'm just going to delete that for now. We could use the ground plane, but I don't want to get too complicated on the 3D stuff this time around. I will do one additional thing though. I'm going to turn on the lights and it goes completely dark, and I want to turn the shadows on too. And now we're going to go in here and we're going to create a directional light, and that's just going to give us a little idea of the shadows. That'll help, another assistance really, just to bring it over to the next part. You don't really need this since it's a sketch, but I thought I'd show it anyways. And I'm going to do, maybe create one more light. I'll try a point light, and just since we're going to have light emanating from this portal area, we're just going to do a few little point lights and just duplicating them throughout. Okay, there, now we have our light. And there's one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to hit, this is just so you don't have these little dots showing up in your drawing. I'm going to hit none on show, and then I'm going to go up and do polygons. And there we go. So now we have a nice little reference of our pillar. And basically I just have to figure out where I want that to be, or my portal, not pillar. Do I want to be looking down at it like this, and we've got, you know, maybe the ground's walking through there, or do I want to be like looking up, like in a, you know, walking upstairs and stuff like that? That's normally the views I do. They're a lot more fun for me to draw, and they're a little easier to draw too because it's from a human perspective. Let's do it just for the sake of this tutorial. We'll do it from down here. And before I render, I'm going to click this really quick too. This is just your ambient occlusion, little shadows in the edges and corners. Okay, so we've got that. And now I'm just going to take a screenshot of this. You can do it any way you want. You can do print screen. I'm just using the snipping tool. I'm going to copy that. You're going to bring it over into Photoshop. And it didn't copy for some reason. Copy it again. There we go. I got it in here now. We can just grab the excess with the W and do the tolerance. It might be too high since it's gray, so I'll do like a 5 or something like that, and we'll cut that out. And now basically we can just take this primary object we have and sort of place it however we want in the scene. I can put it like lower, higher, and you can imagine it could be sticking into the ground. Maybe it's tilted a little bit, just a bit off kilter. It's been there forever or something like that. You could have it kind of clipping through the ceiling a little bit as well. And I think my cat might be helping with me with this tutorial today, so if you hear that, cat, don't heed his advice. He's not as good at this drawing as he says he is. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're going to lower the opacity a little bit, and I'm just going to make a new layer over top of it. Make my brush a little bit smaller, taking the opacity down a bit more. And I'm just going to sketch out kind of the ground around it. Turn this up just a tad. And now I'm just thinking how the ground might be. Maybe this will be just a simple tutorial and be sort of a portal on a hill. We'll have a staircase. Actually, let me do this a little bit differently. Have this. This is the line where I kind of want people to walk. So I'm just trying to figure out how I want it to. Do I want it swooping down and out and across the screen, or do I want to go across like that? I'm just kind of figuring out what line will work best. I sort of like this sort of bit of an S curve there. And now I'm just gonna draw the rest of the land around it. Start adding a few stones and stuff like that. And now I'm just gonna figure out this path. And we can have some stairs here. Take a nice size reference for everyone. You can put a person there too if you want. I'll admit it, I'm lazy and I'm not very good at drawing people, so I usually just use different size hints so that we know what's going on there. Now we can take this, I'm just going to sketch this over really quick, and I can start adding some details and such as well. I can think like, what kind of information do I want added into this? Do I want to break it up? What kind of patterning? Is it super patterned? Let's think some different patterning here. Maybe this is, maybe it separates right here, comes up a little bit. And I'm just kind of drawing over this. Like I'm adding more character there than it was there in the 3D model. I'm thinking, is this broken away? Are we missing stones? You know, how old is this? Is there some sort of, maybe there's some sort of where the pillar or where the portal's being manifested, maybe there's some sort of edge where it's worn away at the stone, so we could think about that as well. And let's see, we're not going to actually see it on the other side, so I'm gonna pretend that this is actually thicker, so maybe it's like to there on the outside, but in here we're only seeing up to like right here maybe. So I'm just drawing over that really quick. Adding that curve. For some reason my cat is quite distraught. I don't know what he wants. He just wants to be part of the tutorial, so everyone say hi to Kimchi. That's his name. And yes, he does look like cabbage. Fermented cabbage, but not really. Okay, so got this here, and I'm just sketching this out really fast, kind of trying to think of, I don't have too many ideas for maybe what kind of patterning is running in here, so we're just going to do something pretty simple. Just kind of some, kind of my favorite little energy beam type things. Have some stones. Maybe I'm going to break the ground down a little bit around here more so we see a little bit of that shape coming out. And this path, maybe it drops off a bit more. I'm just kind of feeling out the landscape as I draw it, sort of sculpting it, imagining these lines running across it as if they're geometry or something. And make that a little thicker. I'm going to break up the symmetry a little bit and have part of this broken off on the side. I can have this pillar piece that fell landed right here maybe. And I'm just sort of sketching away. Just right now I'm really just using this line, these lines as my reference, or I mean the geometry that I created. Yes, I think we've got, I've got plenty enough there to just remove the piece of geometry I created. And now I can just start thinking, what the rest of the landscape is going to be like. What do we, is it grassy? Do we have trees? Maybe we have a tree reference. We could, that's going to start adding scale. Maybe these are small trees or big trees. We don't really know. I'm just hinting at sort of some vague sense of styles of trees and stuff. I'm starting to originally imagine this would be almost like this desolate area, but I kind of like the idea of, what if this is the nice end of the world and the other one's the desolate one? I can have, my idea would, a lot of this would probably come through with color. So, we have like happy clouds and stuff like that, happy clouds. Bloop. But now we'll have like big fluffy clouds on this side. And maybe on the other side, we can do like a night and day thing. Literally night and day, where the other side it is nighttime. This side we have daytime, happy clouds and all that stuff. And nice greenery and water and just birds chirping and things. Start thinking about like a really nice area on this side of the portal, but on the other side of the portal, all hell's gone. It's ridiculous. And just ridiculously evil over there or something like that, or just chaotic. A little bit of a tangent there. I connected the cloud right to that stone, so that was a little bit weird looking. Maybe we'll have like imagine it was like a sun or multiple suns on this other side. It's just a desert and it's terrible. Too many suns on the dance floor over there. Nobody wants that. And on this side, you know, it's all green and grass and happy trees and I've been wanting to do a portal drawing like this for a little while. I don't know if this will be the one that I actually take to final, but it's fun to get a sketch out there. And it's usually once I get an idea of what I want to do for a illustration or painting or concept, I'll do a lot of sketches until I get the sketch that just is perfect for me. Until then, I'll usually focus on other ideas. I've got a few different sketches going on at once. It's always good to have multiple ideas percolating in your mind and not just focusing on one. If you focus on one, when you finish it, you'll get to the end and wonder if maybe you'll have gotten so far on the other one, you finished it, it looks great, and then you're like, oh, how am I going to get to that level next time? Am I going to be able to repeat such a success? I have that problem all the time where we used to have that problem, I guess more so, where I'd finish a painting and then I had to go start from square one again. But if you always kind of have a few drawings and doodles and things just on the side ready to go, then you'll be a lot better off. We're not going to do too much over here. It's just going to be kind of clouds. Just wanted to keep this tutorial quick, pretty short. I'm not sure how long I'm at right now, but I just kind of want to get some stuff out there. There's some more trees. We could do some other types of trees, some pines and such sticking back here. I do like my pine trees. Okay, and just a little something over here. And just a little bit more hint of stuff. Maybe some birds flying in. Everyone likes birds. Make some V's and some sort of N's, or upside down V's, I guess would be the better word for that. A little too many. I'm just going to erase a few. I want to have them have like a direction, and that didn't really, they just look chaotic. They weren't really going anywhere. Okay. Yeah, now you pretty much, this is pretty much good to go. I can add a few more details here. I could do maybe a tree in the foreground here. So we got these leaves popping up. And a little bit, maybe some sticks, little shrubbery bits and such like that. This is kind of at the point where you'd start thinking of some different story elements of the world, how old it is, things like that, like how lush it is and all that. Maybe there was a war or a battle here on this end. You could start adding in decaying bodies and armor or whatever to kind of hint at some of this nastiness that's come out of this other side of the portal. And I forgot to add kind of my portal edge of this sort of glowy effect. So this energy line, you can only see right in the center there. This sort of reminds me of the Warcraft movie. I had a similar design, I guess. I actually liked that movie. Most people didn't. I wouldn't say it was a good movie, but it was enjoyable. Anyways, that has no relation to the tutorial, but I seem to be rambling slightly. Okay. Okay, there we go. So there's, just a quick sketch. It's really just a focal point of one main prop. And it's a good warm-up method. It's a good method to using the 3D combined with the 2D like this. It's a great method. to come up with like a nice singular object in your scene, and then just go from there and really push it. And you could go back and you could go and model this out in 3D, or you could continue and just paint this out. You know, you've got plenty of information. You could just start adding, you know, I could add some overgrowth on top of this. You could take it anywhere you want, really. But yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. Maybe I'll do another one where I focus in on some other elements. Maybe I might do 3D in Photoshop and things like that. There's a lot of other stuff I can show. But I appreciate you stopping by and checking out my videos. If you liked it, give it a like. If not, maybe leave me a comment below and tell me what you might like to see, what you enjoy instead of something like this, or if the thing I might have missed or glossed over. And yeah, I'd like if you subscribe, and take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.